25 seconds. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Just a reminder that our goals and our mission and priorities is for community relations, to manage our resources, to recruit and retain quality staff, and to achieve academic excellence. Brenda, please call the roll call and establish a quorum.
Davenport. Here. Fields.
Here.
Fisher.
Here.
McConnell.
Here.
Silva.
Here. Okay, do we have a approval of the agenda or motion to approve? I'll move to approve the agenda.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the agenda. Please call the roll.
McConnell.
Aye.
Davenport.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Fields.
Aye.
Silva.
Aye. All right, at this time, we're going to go ahead and open up our public hearing. This is for the 2023-2024 certified budget. And so at this time, is there anyone here that would like to comment on the certified budget as presented? Okay. Seeing that there's no comments, I would go ahead and close the public hearing. And then we would be looking for a motion from the board to approve the certified budget.
I'll make a motion to approve the 2023-2024 certified budget.
I'll second that motion. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Fisher.
Aye.
McConnell.
Aye.
Fields.
Aye.
Davenport.
Aye.
Silva.
Aye. Okay, in a similar fashion here, we're going to go ahead and open up the public hearing for the certified budget amendment. And so is there anyone that would like to comment on the amendment? Okay. Seeing there are none, we would go ahead and look to close the public hearing and ask for a motion to approve the certified amended budget.
I'd move we approve the certified budget amendment for the 22-23 budget. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Fields.
Aye.
Davenport.
Aye.
McConnell.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Silva.
Aye. Okay. Thank you. Now we will go ahead and open up if there's anyone here that would like to speak during the open forum. This is for items that are not on the agenda. Okay. Seeing there are none, we will move on over to consent items. So we've all had a chance to take a look at these. If nobody has any questions or comments.
Move we approve the consent items.
I'll second that motion. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Davenport.
Aye.
McConnell.
Aye.
Fields.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Silva.
Aye. Okay, moving on to old business. This is the second reading of revised board policy 4.404.6 for the certified employee probationary status. And this was just to keep it in line with what's required now. So we're updating it from 1 year to 2 year. That's just new teachers.
Correct.
So,
Or new
New
teachers
to
to
the
the district or
district.
new teachers to the profession.
so would we have a motion for the second to approve the second reading? We're actually looking to approve the policy now, right?
I move to approve the revised board policy 404.6, the certified employee probationary status.
I'll second that motion. Okay. We have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Fisher.
Aye.
McConnell.
Aye.
Fields.
Aye.
Davenport.
Aye.
Silva.
Aye. Okay, middle school gym demolition delay.
Yep, so I'll just kind of just touch on this one a little bit. So our old middle school gym was scheduled to be demolished this year by Murphy's. And in order to kind of keep that partnership up with the project that is going to happen with the middle school, and to preserve their tax credits, which are in the neighborhood of about $3.5 million. We have delayed this particular demolition just so that we could use those funds in a different direction if needed. And so in an agreement with Murphy's Construction, he agreed to release us from that contract for the cost of his bid bond, which was in the amount of $9,849. So that we could kind of preserve that relationship, preserve that connection with that project, and allow them to do that. So for them to be able to qualify for those state historical tax credits, we would not actually be able to demolish that gym for 5 years after substantial completion of their project, which could be, with having to wait that waiting period, we could be looking at 7-8 years down the road. So just with inflation and anything else that would happen with costs, we didn't know what that would look like. So we asked Andy if he would let us out, and that's what he let us out for.
So then in 7-8 years, when we're ready to move forward, then we'll have to.
We may have to
let that-
revisit that out again. Yep.
Do we need a motion to approve the release of that?
And
So moved.
for the cost.
To pay the bid bond to Murphy Construction and to release the bid for the middle school demolition. I make that motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
McConnell.
Aye.
Fields.
Aye.
Davidic.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Silver.
Aye. Okay, moving on to superintendent's report.
We'll do our staff and student recognition. We'll start with Mrs. Hino.
I don't really remember, do we do students first or staff?
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna start with Lydia. Okay, we'll do with students first. I want you to stand right up here, but I kind of don't remember where we need to stand. Let's come right up here. All right, see that camera? Okay, Lydia is a kindergartner. Her parents are Kristen and Robert Malinger. And Lydia, I want to just tell you what your teacher said about you, okay? The reason that we recognize students in at the elementary school is the teachers nominate them. And this is what your teacher said about you. You do everything that Mrs. Baker asks you to do. You are very respectful, responsible, and safe. You make sure that you let her know anytime that you're not sure what to do, so you know exactly how to fix it. And Mrs. Baker can count on you every day for doing the right thing. So let's give Lydia a round of applause. Here is a certificate and a Fairway gift card. Those are both for you. Congratulations. Good job. Okay, now the next student I want to recognize is Eason. Come on up, Eason. Okay, I'm gonna yep, you stand right there, buddy. All right, so Eason, hey, let's say hi. Your teacher nominated you, Eason, a couple of times actually, because the overwhelming thing about you, Eason, that she really wanted to make sure that you were recognized for was your kindness. You are kind to everybody in your class. You help your friends. You go out of your way to be kind to your peers at school. You'll work with anyone, and you're always willing to help out, even if somebody doesn't ask you to do that. So that is what Mrs. Miller said, that you are just a great role model for your peers and your friends. All right, so that's what got you nominated. Congratulations, Eason. And let's give him a round of applause. Thank you, buddy. Okay, the next the staff member that I want to start with is Teresa Shahan. Teresa is a special education para in Miss Brown's room at our school. And this is what your colleagues said about you, Teresa. Good things, of course. You do a lot of little things that really add up. You're kind of like the mom or grandma of the building, which is absolutely true. And she is a grandma in our building. If something needs done, she does it. You pitch in to clean. You make sure that we keep our fridge in a sanitary status. Maybe that's the word. And you do things that recess duties, a lot of extra duties, and we just really appreciate your attitude and your help in our building. So thank you, Teresa. Okay, and the next two staff members that I have are our counselors. So one of the things that are at the school, the staff has nominated each other, and it's a little hard for our staff to pick out one staff member because we work so often and frequently in teams. So our staff members that we want to recognize next are our counselors, Mary Tickner and Katie Farber. And what your colleagues said about you were many, so I had to shrink it down a little bit. Anytime we need something, we call them and they help. If it's behavior, if it's recess, if it's I have a kid in the bathroom, can you help me with this? Yes, it doesn't matter what it is. They're there to help do the thing, and anything that I might need help with, they help us with. They work with small groups of kids, large groups of kids. So you always have time for us, is what your colleague said. No matter what concern we have, you help me with students in my classroom, and you also support me as a colleague. So that is what your colleagues said about you. So congratulations, Mary Tickner. Let's give them a round of applause.
I don't travel very light.
That's good.
Let's start with Maddie Scala. Where's Maddie? Oh, there's Maddie. Come on up here, Maddie. Maddie is a 7th grader at Greene County Middle School, the daughter of Haley. Thank you for coming tonight.
Absolutely.
Maddie, you were a February student of the month, I think. Does that sound right to you?
Yeah.
I think that's near as I can tell. That was February. So the winter kind of drug on there for a little while. Her teachers wrote when she was selected as student of the month that she's very respectful to everyone, that she is around. She's always works to her potential. And I've seen that quite a bit with Maddie. I wanted to also note that Maddie is in the top 10 of all the students at Greene County Middle School for her achievement in Classcraft, which is our PBIS tool for recognizing good behavior. She's already passed level 45, is that right? Our goal is to get to 36, so she's way ahead of the curve. And I think that is just a way that she demonstrates how she exceeds our expectations in school every day. Personally, I've enjoyed Maddie's kindness. You can see she's got a really warm smile, and she's always friendly to people. I've watched her help her friends at various times throughout the year and provide assistance even to people who maybe wouldn't be in her peer group. But she reaches out, and she's a really kind person. She's a delight in the classroom. Teachers tell me that she volunteers to assist whenever she can. So thank you, Maddie, very much for all your contributions. Don't run off. Now, you get a gift card, and Mr. Xander screwed up. I don't have one of these, but I'll give it to you tomorrow. Okay. Thank you. All right. I'm going to start right here so you guys see. Okay. Well, there you go. So you got a little something for what I'm going to say. Santos, would you come up, please, sir? Santos is an 8th grader in our building, and he was a January student of the month. His parents are with us and family right over here. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I believe you arrived at Greene County Middle School about a year ago. Is that right? March of last year? Yeah. And you came from Illinois right before this, but you're originally from North Carolina. Okay, very good. That's awesome. So you moved around quite a bit recently, right? Teachers wrote when he was student of the month in January that he's a hard worker, he cares a lot about doing well on his assignments, and he is a caring person. And I've seen this time and time again with Santos. He is a genuine young man. He is pleasant and he's very respectful. And he is the first one to try to hop up and cover a duty when his table needs to do something and nobody else is moving. So Santos is right there ready to go. I've watched him clean his table. I've watched him clean up a mess. I've watched him help a peer. We are very grateful to you for being with us, and congratulations. Thank you. And I'll get you two staff members to recognize tonight. Again, our staff members are nominated by the students who are students of the month. So the first one, Ms. Stoller, will you come up, please? Ms. Stoller is 5th through 8th grade PE, and she also teaches health. This is year 2. Is that right? Yep. Students told me that they appreciated Ms. Stoller for always being prepared for them, for being patient with them, and Lord knows I've seen that, and for introducing new activities to them, things that they haven't done before in your class. She's a terrific team player. She's flexible, willing to achieve a goal as a group. She's also a member of our PBIS team, so she gets the most slides watched in 1 year award in training, and she coaches multiple sports for us. Her family is from Chicago, Illinois, and no, it's not. No, it's Clare, Iowa. Yeah, it's Clare, Iowa. I knew it was something similar to Chicago. I couldn't remember, but Ms. Stoller, thank you very much for all you do around the building. And last but not least, is Mr. Mark here?
Is that Rams on the run tonight?
Rams on the run.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Is that a little legal activity?
It's a fun track thing.
Oh, that
We call
sounds
track
great.
fun.
Well, I know he's coaching right now and it's mid-season, so I wasn't sure if he was gonna be able to make it. But Mr. Mark is our social studies teacher in 8th grade, and I believe this is his 6th year in the district. He's originally from Boone, but came to us from Donaldson, Iowa, way in the southeast corner of the state. His students said, Mr. Mark is a fun teacher, makes class enjoyable because how he creates projects for learning and not just a lot of note-taking. He is kind to students. He can sometimes be a little serious, but he's also a terrific coach and they enjoy the time that he spends with them outside the room as well. I would echo those sentiments. He does a terrific job of building community in his classroom, and he does a lot of applied learning. So students are learning about social studies concepts and standards, but they're doing things that doesn't make them think about social studies. And if you remember social studies at times, it wasn't very exciting, but it is when it's in his room. So please, if you get a chance to thank him, please do, and he'll take a round of applause. And right now, thank you, everybody.
I'm going to start with the students. The staff nominates students for PBIS Student of the Month, and the person that was nominated for female is Natalie Heupel. Come on up. Don't be back. And Mrs. Marquardt was the one that nominated her. This is what Mrs. Marquardt said. She has had Natalie in classes for 3 years and has noticed a lot of growth in her academically and personally. She's a hard worker and is a good thinker, and has developed a lot of confidence in herself this past year. The best thing is that she is kind, considerate, and well-mannered. I enjoy seeing her in class or student council. She has been a great leader for Greene County High School. So, thank you. I think Brayton's here. Brayton? Brayton was nominated by Miss Gray, and Miss Gray says Brayton is a great kid. He is a good leader in and out of the classroom, makes good decisions, and is just polite, nice, and a fun kid. I have enjoyed watching him blossom in Ram Fanatic and become a great leader and resource in class. I can't think of a more deserving student. Congratulations. Josh Carlson is the teacher for this month. Come on up, Josh. I don't want to miss this opportunity to embarrass you. Josh came to us 4 years ago from the private sector, and I talked him into being an industrial tech teacher for us, and he has just been tremendous. The first few weeks on the job, I told him we couldn't fire the kids, which he wanted to. I was like, no, you can't do that. But he has grown tremendously from someone that hasn't taken a 4-year teacher prep program and just come right in out of the private sector. He's learned a lot. He's grown tremendously, well liked by the staff and the kids. And we're sorry to lose him. We wish we could take his house from Van Meter and put it in Jefferson, but we understand why he's moving on to Waukee High School, and he will be sorely missed. Thank you, my friend. Nancy Halterman was ill today. Nancy Halterman is one of our special ed associates, and she's one-on-one with a student. She kind of keeps me in line. She's really good at that. She's really good at behavioral expectations for kids in the building and with her one-on-one associate. She does a tremendous job for transportation needs and make sure if things need to be changed. So I'm very grateful for her, and she is our non-certified staff member of the month. So please recognize her in her name.
Thank you. We will take just a couple of minutes for those families and those kids and staff to go ahead and head to the lunchroom for some quick photos, and then we'll reconvene here in just a couple minutes.
Some of them are.
Bye-bye. Thank you, folks.
Sean, what's Santos' last name?
Yeah, you might want to. I think I got some R's in there.
Well, you said it very nicely, yes.
He speaks then.
Last year, I was pretty proud of myself. I got one parent from outdoor to a classroom. We know the right one.
How many kids in middle school at least?
Yeah, they give us 3 years. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I did.
That's on the, that's the really hard part.
Yeah.
And the fact that it has right now. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That makes sense. And be able to do this.
You think about like yeah, go ahead.
We won't do that again. Okay, we're gonna keep on trucking here. We are gonna reconvene here on reports and correspondence with board committee reports. So I know, Michelle, you guys had one, but we're gonna talk about that one later, I think.
And I on the,
Negotiations.
Yeah.
And I know the school foundation met and they have pre-picked their scholarship winners, and those will be announced here pretty soon. So they did a nice job with that. Anybody else have any?
We shifted SiAC to May 15th.
And who was my partner in crime on that?
That would be me.
Is there another member I am unable to meet that night that would be able to meet? Or I can talk later. You can think it over.
May 15th.
Yep, Monday.
When is it?
May
Monday,
15th.
It's a long ways away.
Yeah.
It is.
All right.
Before you know it.
We'll see. Yeah. Okay. Any other administrative reports
The
of the links? This takes me a second once we leave the room to get back into like doing this efficiently.
You are excellent.
Oh, thanks. Any comments or questions on any of those? Mr. Phillips, you made me laugh, or did you take it out?
No, should be around 2024.
That one, I was thinking of your friend Mark Wahlberg donating
Oh, yeah.
protein.
I did say donate.
It took me a
Good friend
second.
Mark Wahlberg.
Good job.
And I enjoyed seeing the videos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was neat to see.
The spring family fun night at the middle school was fun. That was very fun.
Yeah, I greatly appreciate both fun nights
Okay,
and muffins and math.
yeah. Good to see. And May 1st, soccer? Is that still maybe gonna happen?
That's the
That's the
goal.
plan? Good job. Cool.
Yeah.
Looking at doing maybe in town.
Back over here.
Yeah. Good job. Okay, any other comments or questions?
I just want to say how much I appreciate these reports. So
Oh, the best.
it's good information. I know we don't share it as a group, but it's good information for us to know.
All right, we'll continue moving to other reports. We just had one quick update, I think, on fundraiser update on the Ram Fanatic. They asked for 15 sponsors at 100 and they got it, so they did a good job getting that done. Okay, moving right along to new business. So this is where we'll do school driving permit requests. So Michelle, it's your turn.
Okay, I have 3 candidates that would like to apply for their school permit this evening. I have William Graham, Caden Keenan, and Natalie Baugh. Is there anybody else who didn't make the list? Okay. We just want to remind you, like, some of the rules and regulations, some things that are important for you to remember as we trust you behind the wheel of a car by yourself. Your driving times with your permit are from 5 a.m. or you cannot drive between 5 a.m. and 10 p.m. So if you have a sporting event and
That's
you
when
get
I can't
10
drive.
p.m. I'm sorry.
Before that. You can't Little levity here.
Yeah. So you can ride between 5 a.m. and 10 p.m. So if the bus gets back at 10:30 or the track meet gets over at 11 o'clock, you've got to find another ride. Sorry, car's got to stay there. You got to have somebody else come pick you up. You can drive from your house to school, from school to your house. You can stop along the way if you need to get gas, but you need to take really the most direct and easy access road that you have. Let's see, you can stop for school, yep. How many people can you have in the car with you? Does anybody know?
Yeah, one.
One that is not,
Family member.
one that is not a family member. I have some experience.
These seniors in here. are
Drivers
really
in here, yes. And a relative means somebody that is living with you. So you can have one other friend, and that's really if your parent says that's okay, or your adult says that's okay.
But you can't pick them up.
But you can't pick them up. They've got to come to your house, and then you can ride from there. How many times can you use your cell phone while you're driving? 0. No cell phones. You know where you're going, so you don't need a map to help you around. So just set your phone, put it in your pocket, turn on silent, whatever you need to do. If you get pulled over and if you get a ticket, your license gets suspended or revoked for 6 months, and that's a long time. And that means you're back begging rides with mom and dad, or big sister, little sister, or taking the bus. Bus machine.
Sister.
So I think, do you all have a form like this, a DOT form?
Yeah.
So William, are you here?
Yes.
Yes. Do you mind just standing up and saying why you need a school permit and where you live?
I need a school permit because I cannot rely on my parent or brother to take me to school. And I live 5 miles out of town.
Awesome. Thank you. I didn't see Caden. Did I see Caden? Oh, he's behind Mason. Caden, you know, stand up and say why you need a school permit and where you live.
I need a school permit because I shouldn't have to rely on my friends, my mom who works all the time, or anyone else. And I feel like I should just need to drive on my own time and not bother anyone else to go wherever route they want to go on. And I live at North Olive Street, which is like east of town. So I live in town.
Okay. Natalie.
I think I need a school permit because my only sister with a license will be leaving this year. She's a senior. And my friend that has a school permit, so she can only take one, she brings her friends back to the track with her. And I'm involved in sports and I don't want to have to keep begging someone to bring me to school.
Awesome. Very good. Okay, if you guys want to go ahead and bring your forms up. Oh, we need a motion. Wait, I always do that. That's why I give it to Michelle. Michelle, go ahead. So I need somebody, no, you say that, right?
No.
I would like to make a motion to approve the following three that we just discussed.
I'll second that motion. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Fisher,
Aye.
McConnell,
Aye.
Fields,
Aye.
Davidic,
Aye.
Silva.
Aye. All right, you guys can bring your forms up. We'll sign them here.
I'm waiting on my form right now.
I've got one
We've
right
got
here for
one.
you.
We'll sign it.
You just need to make sure to put your name on
Get
it.
your name at the top of it before it gets signed, okay?
And remember, the school board is the one who gets to revoke them too if you break the rules. So other people turn people in, so don't break the rules. And you still need to go to the courthouse. Yep. How about you fill that out and I'll sign the last. Would that be all right?
Yep.
Yep, and then you'll need to fill out the rest and then take it to the courthouse, okay? There you go. And if you guys want to leave at this time, you guys are more than welcome to.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. All right, we're gonna move on to, we're gonna go ahead and move on to an early graduation request, and we just have one. We're gonna formally approve, because I assume you're not going. And so would we have a motion to go ahead and approve McCade Owens for early graduation?
I would make that motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Davidic,
Aye.
McConnell,
Aye.
Fisher,
Aye.
Fields,
Aye.
Silva.
Aye. Okay, moving on to fundraiser requests. Anyone have any questions on any of those? We had quite a few.
I did not. I will go ahead and move to approve the fundraiser request as presented.
Second.
Okay, we had a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Fields,
Aye.
McConnell,
Aye.
Fisher,
Aye.
Davidic,
Aye.
Silva.
Aye. Okay. Moving right along to the ratification of the 23-28 negotiated agreement,
5-year agreement.
5-year agreement. And this was just between the
District and bus driver.
bus drivers.
Yep.
So,
They only up that every 5 years.
No, this is the first year we've done a 5-year.
Oh, okay.
The salary part will be
negotiated.
negotiated every year, but the
Okay.
language will not.
Sorry, thank you.
That makes sense.
They don't have to have a recertification.
I'll move to approve the negotiated agreement between the bus drivers union and the Greene County School District as stated.
I will second that motion. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
McConnell.
Aye.
Davidic.
Aye.
Fields.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Silva.
Aye. 23-24 contracts. So there's 4 different kind of categories there. First one is the teacher leaders. So you can see those kind of divided out with who that all is. And do we approve these individually or all at once?
You can do it either way. If you,
I would think so, unless anybody's got questions. So we have the teacher leaders. We're gonna look for a motion all at once if we can. If we need to split it up, we will. We want to go ahead and look at the administrative staff. An overall decrease there.
Just with, current vacancy.
Yeah.
More, and then with investors vendors.
Okay. And then the nutrition staff.
Their total increase was 6.5% across there, with the total district increase of 6.8.
And then the other classified staff.
Yeah, paras was about 3.5%, 3.48. Total district cost increase of
Requested. Yes, he requested. I'm coming in for 2 hours a day. That was his request.
oh, then Charlie. Yep.
Yep, that was his request.
Yep.
I'll move we approve the contracts for 23-24 for teacher leaders, administrative staff, nutrition staff, and other classified staff as shown in the minutes.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Okay, please call the roll.
Fields.
Aye.
McConnell.
Aye.
Davidic.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Soma.
Aye. ESSER capital expenditure.
So this is for 3 heat pumps. We'll use some remaining ESSER funds that we have there to replace 3 heat pumps at the elementary. So just a kind of an interesting fact, actually, the price per heat pump that we got 2 years ago was about was a little less than $10,000 per heat pump. So the fact that we're getting 3 for $21,000 is pretty darn
Seems backwards
pretty
these
darn
days.
awesome.
So you can,
They knew everybody had COVID dollars 2 years ago.
That's the key is don't tell them how you're paying for it. So just looking for a motion on that.
Okay, I'll move to approve that ESSER capital expenditure for the heat pumps in the elementary school.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Davidic.
aye.
McConnell.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Fields.
Aye.
Soma.
Aye. Summer projects.
Yeah, just have 4 additions, and one really is kind of, I'd like to maybe have more of a discussion before we go too much further there. So there's 2 vans, which are for transportation. So we have 2 vans that have over 250,000 miles on them. So we're kind of really in that position where we need a couple more there. And then the removal and replacement of the acoustical ceilings, that's just kind of the second half of what we had done. We'd done some last summer, so now we're gonna be looking at doing the other half. Last year, this same scope of work, we got a bid, it was about 100,000. This year, it's a little, almost 140. So significant increase. One of the things that Adam and I had talked about was the company that did before, they did a really nice job, but we think that they maybe really undersold themselves quite a bit. So, and this is probably what should have been last year. So, so it'll be a lot of ceiling work, tile work, and that's gonna be over like the cafeteria. There'll be some lighting and whatnot. So that no school cafeteria, and then there's 3 classrooms, I believe, they're included that. Really, so the one that I just kind of wanted to have some discussion on was the bus barn. And so this isn't like it says bus barn repair. It's really for the roof. That roof that is currently on that building is really at the point of it probably needs to be done at least within the next couple of years. When Adam put this out, he was really surprised at the number that came back. It was about 50 or 60,000 less than what he thought it was going to be. And so this is for all materials, labor, and it would be done over the summer as well. So
Is it replacing the roof on the metal building?
it'll replace it, yeah,
The metal or the brick? The metal.
the metal.
The-
Yeah. So So the, if you look up above there with the building demo for the old middle school gym, that 149,750, that's not gonna be there anymore. So it's one of those things that we can table that portion of it, or if we want to do it now and we have the ability to do it, so it's all capital, but we have the ability to do it. We can, or we can hold off, we can see about seeking other bids, or we can.
Did the company that has the bid here for the ceiling systems,
Jamie,
how come did the company from last year that did it?
it's the same one.
Oh, it is the same
It
one,
is the same
okay.
one, yeah.
I missed
So,
that, I'm sorry.
and we,
Yeah.
we did have another bid on that one that was more in that about 165,000.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I misheard you.
Yeah.
Is this outfit out of Carroll?
Janning, I think is at a Carroll, yeah.
Oh,
Sounds like Carol.
yeah, it does.
I mean, even if we waited on the bus barn, it's eventually gonna need to be replaced anyways.
Eventually, yeah.
Cost of steel's down about $35 a square currently, what it was in January.
This might be a time to jump on it then.
So,
It's low currently.
Okay.
Who knows what it's gonna do.
4 or 5 months from now, or
Right.
I would
next
say
year.
do it now. We have the funding for it.
We do.
The other thing, this is me, and I should have said this outside of this meeting, would they ever consider painting some of these walls to be all the gray in here instead of that cream color that looks really dated?
We certainly can.
Okay.
Actually, if you notice this hallway down here,
Yeah,
it's got
so,
the end of spring break.
I was
Just
gonna
delete
volunteer to be the paint, because I'm like, I just would like it
You're
looking more
hired.
uniform,
Yeah.
yeah.
We're supposed to be
Yeah.
balcony, not dance.
Yeah, well,
But yeah.
Too bad you can't use it.
this is a
So
sidekick.
so back to the 4 items that are on this.
Yes.
Sorry.
thank you.
I will go ahead and make a motion to approve the summer projects for 2023.
Second,
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
McConnell.
Aye.
Fields.
Aye.
Fisher.
aye,
Davidoff.
Aye.
Stovall.
Aye. Mowing services.
This is, again, more of a
Just
more of a
like-
discussion topic.
Mhm.
So right now we are looking at bidding out mowing services for the middle school grounds and practice fields, and then the high school grounds. And we would be taking care of Grand Junction, our athletic fields. We do all the lining and painting, and then the baseball field. Just the initial premise behind that was we've been in search of a transportation director without any applications, and so we were looking at, how do we now do the same with less? And so that was kind of the initial premise behind that. We kind of repurposed that title. Instead of being transportation, we're going to shift that transportation role to go between Adam Snowgren and Sean DeMoss, and then look at hiring somebody for custodial supervision, and then having somebody to assist or support with that mowing would take a lot of stress and time away from Sean and Adam just on the mowing aspects. So that's kind of the.
is the plan to continue to try to find someone to be a transportation director then, or is this
Yeah.
reshuffling gonna be?
So that, I think that reshuffling and having Adam and Sean take on the transportation is they do some of that work as it is already, so it's not foreign territory to them whatsoever. So having them take that on, so Adam's current position is building and maintenance or building and custodial. So kind of taking that custodial piece from him, putting that into a different person or role, and then having him absorb some of that transportation work is kind of the idea there. So.
And I know mowing is our most immediate need, but then how does that look in the winter when you've got snow removal? Then will we need
I
snow
think-
removal services
I
as
think we'd
well?
be able to
or-
handle the snow removal portion with the 3 of them. I think that would be okay there. I just think it's the amount of time that it takes to mow, the amount of acreage that we have is significantly time consuming. So I did have a student reach out to me today, asking if they could have a discussion with me about them participating with mowing. So I mean, so we have some options there too. It's just, which direction would be, is more preferable for you guys? Do you want to go to part it out, or do we want to hire on a company, or like to seek bids from companies, or kind of where do you guys want to go with that?
We used to hire it out.
Right.
And the problem we had with hiring it out, it was costing us $60-some thousand a summer.
Yeah.
To mow grass.
Yep.
So I did the math behind hiring people and buying our equipment,
Mhm.
which made it more cost effective for the district, because now we have a full-time employee that we have all year versus spending 60 or 70,000 just for the summer.
Didn't we upgrade some of the equipment too
We
at
bought
that
a
time?
$98,000 mower last year to mow grass with, which is
A 12-foot wide one.
rough. If we're gonna spend that kind of money, now we're gonna hire somebody else to do it again. There's a market to.
I think to hire an employee for us, a student or whatever for the summer would be, to me, would sound acceptable versus hiring out a company.
Oh, exactly.
Right.
Which,
I think there are a couple of, rumor mill, maybe you guys in here can correct me, I think there's a couple kids that are starting
Yeah.
some mowing businesses.
Right.
So we're not really
Absolutely.
hiring the students, we're hiring their business.
Right.
And I think that would be.
Well, we could do it one of two ways, because I mean, like, it depends on what they have in terms of equipment, because, we have industrial.
this is talking about mowing a couple of yards in town, it's just 50 acres.
Right.
Yeah, somebody's still gonna have to oversee it, an adult's still gonna have to kind of oversee it, because you probably don't want to depend on, I mean, they might be great students, but
But the other thing with those, I got nothing against any of that, but mowing season has started.
Yeah.
We're still in school.
yeah.
Mowing season continues and we're back in school. So we get that crossover of.
We would need to look at it, if it is gonna be, if we did have a student, that's currently enrolled in our schools, it's not like a graduating senior or something like that. We have to get creative in how we either build their schedule out so that they can be done at a certain time or not start until a certain time, so, so they could have some flexibility on either end of that schedule, so that they're still getting an education.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think what we're hearing is we don't want to hire out or bid out a company with their own equipment that could do it all in our sits. But if there's a way to hire someone to use the
Our
school equipment to do it,
Which is.
kind of the
what we
guidance you're
always
looking
tried
for
to do.
at this point.
I'm also concerned about, Sean's not gonna be around forever either.
Right.
He's kind of getting in the twilight of his career. And, we're gonna need another good hand on deck full-time here. If we don't get it right now, yeah, we have to do something temporarily, but
The problem is pay.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to work for what you can afford to pay. That's where we're at. That's where we were at before. We need to hire somebody that we can
But
put in that position for $26 an hour, and we're offering them 14 at best. That's
you mean for the part-time?
for anything. We went down this road years ago, trying to hire somebody to be on Sean's staff. Well, nobody wants to work for that kind of money. It's just nobody. You can't get high school kids to want to work for less than 15 or 16 bucks an hour.
Well, I'd say we gotta do what we gotta do
But we gotta make it work. We can't.
to do temporarily what we gotta do.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
I think we'd be best off to try to find a full-time transportation director person. Because then when Sean leaves,
Well,
we still got those two.
Even a full-time custodian mowing like you were.
Right.
That,
But,
yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be a challenge to get
So is
that
there anybody to
identified,
mow
I
right
understand.
now?
Yes, Sean DeMoss is the one mowing right now.
Okay.
And so we still have Robert Stoker, but
Until,
until June 30th. However, that doesn't mean he's necessarily gonna be on every single day, because he's still got vacation hours and whatnot that he may exhaust. Which are,
It's hard for Sean. Sean mows almost all day, every day.
They get a lot of work done, those guys do.
They work crazy hours getting all that, because we just so much property.
Yeah.
Right. So just as kind of summarize, then what I'm hearing is to look for somebody that can be that could fill in, or not fill in, but somebody who can kind of take on maybe a full-time support role with either mowing or maintenance or something like that. But then we'll still at the same time seeking full-time to handle like the transportation custodial grounds.
I
So
think
then-
you need another full-time person, yeah.
Right.
I mean, those guys, they're working.
Mhm.
How many of those guys did we used to have, Brenda? Well, there used to be like 7 in that whole group originally, 7 or 8.
There used to be a bunch more.
Now we're down to like 3 and one's
Yeah.
leaving.
We don't want to burn them out.
We already have. I think that's the problem.
It's a lot of work.
It is.
Yeah. I mean, you've got it advertised for that position. Are you going to continue to advertise for
Well, we
that?
have an ad, we're advertising right now for a custodial supervisor.
Hmm.
And Sean and Adam are going to have the transportation role.
They think it'll work?
They do.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Trying for the custodial mowing.
Custodial and mowing.
We don't need any action on this then, do we? No, just informational, yeah.
And even if there's kids that want a summer job, you come
Under
plant them
Sean.
on a mower. He's done that
2,
before.
3, 4, 5.
We'll go.
Six.
That way. All right, we're gonna continue. We will
Place to get us up
continue.
to.
All right, go ahead and continue on.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna move on to fertilizer contracts. Really the addition to this is now we're gonna add the football field to it. So this is very similar to last year, but added is expense for the football field.
For a motion to approve that.
So we're looking for a motion to approve.
And we're approving the 20,000
Plus.
plus
Plus
the 12.
down.
This includes materials and labor.
Yeah.
I'd make a motion to approve the fertilizer contract.
Okay, first and second, please call the roll.
Who seconded it?
John did very
You're
quietly.
so quiet.
Very
Well,
quiet.
somebody was calling.
I can't believe I heard it.
Okay.
All right, yep.
Fisher.
Aye.
Dominic.
Aye.
McConnell.
Aye.
Fields.
Aye.
Silva.
Okay, assistant business manager, bank access, we hired Sean Allen, who will be filling in for Laura when Laura slides into,
Brenda's position.
so we just need a motion to, approve putting her on the bank account access.
I approved to put her on the business.
A motion to approve.
A motion to
Yes.
approve, putting the assistant business manager on the bank access.
Perfect. Second,
Second.
first and second, please call the roll.
McConnell.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Fields.
Aye.
Dominic.
Aye.
Silva.
Right. Moving right along, board policy review, 412.1 and through 415.1B.
The 415 .1A, I was asking if we could remove that.
Yeah, there were several policies that are old COVID policies that we really don't probably need anymore.
And it states in here it's only effective till,
December 31, 2020.
thank you.
So might as well get them out of there.
That would be striking 415.1A.
And
And B,
and B,
1B.
1B, 1A. And that's it.
They expired because that benefit wasn't extended beyond December 31st, 2020. So
Did we approve putting those in, Brenda, at one point, or
July 15th,
Back in the-
2020.
back in the fun
The
days?
days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't remember doing that, but there's a lot of things I choose not to remember about those days.
We didn't like it much either. It was no fun to keep track.
Yeah, no, I'll bet, yeah.
Alright, so do we have a motion to approve with the removal of those two portions?
Yeah, I'd move we approve, I'll find the numbers here. 412.1 through 415.1 without 1A and 1B, is that right? Or,
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
that's
right.
perfect. You said perfect.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay, motion in a second. please call the roll.
Fields.
Aye.
McConnell.
Aye.
Dominic.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Sobel.
All right, 23-24 agreement with New Opportunities Head Start.
Yes.
Check this out. Yes,
Finally, here
glad
we
to
are.
see it.
So this is our agreement with the Children's Center and Head Start. They're gonna partner together. We're gonna have a 3-year-old preschool class over there. At least one anyway, possibly 2. But this just outlines the agreement that the district and Head Start have with each other, just in terms of how we'll operate, how we'll work together, the requirements for the number of hours that our kids have to have. And that's really kind of about it.
Will staffing remain the way it was?
We're adding one more teacher,
You're adding more?
one more preschool
One
teacher
more,
in total.
okay.
Yep.
And
The-
this
the-
is,
Go ahead.
this agreement doesn't mention the Children's Center that I saw. Is
No,
that
this
normal?
is
our agreement.
Because it's
It's
not,
just
it's with
them.
Head Start.
It's our partnership
So,
with them.
I'm
Yep.
assuming
So
we'll have
Head-
something too.
Nope, we don't
with
have to
them?
have them. So Head Start has their partnership with the Children's Center.
Okay,
So we're just hosting it at the Children's Center. So we're providing the teacher, we'll provide one
Yep.
para.
Yep.
They'll provide the other para.
but nothing has to be between us two because that's not, their Head Start's the go-between them. Okay.
Thanks for that clarification.
Others? Okay. So we need a motion. If there's no other questions on that, we would need a motion for the agreement to approve the agreement between New Opportunities Head Start and the Greene County Community School District.
I'd move that.
Perfect. We have one motion, we have a
Second.
second. John, second. Okay, please call the roll.
Dominic.
Aye.
Fields.
Aye.
McConnell.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Sobel.
Aye. All right, no further business, meeting adjourned.
Wow.
Good job, you guys.